Okay, there we go. There's that. I'm just gonna give them another 30 seconds to see.
Of course. While you're doing that, I'm going to share my screen if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah, let's. Oh, let me make sure you
in
can
a second.
share screen. Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay. All righty. Can you guys see my screen then?
Yes.
Excellent. All right.
Perfect.
Get some of this extra stuff out of the way. Thank you. There we go. All right. So whenever you guys are ready, I'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, KKV folk. Oh, wait, one more.
There we go.
Waiting room. See, I knew extra 30 seconds would help. Okay. Okay, let's see. Anything else coming? Okay. All right, MCH folks. Thank you so much, MCH, for inviting us again. And I'm super excited to introduce Riley Dettman, who I met at a SPIN conference, so a conference for children with disabilities, and learned a little bit about his services. And I was like, I want to hear more because I think this is really important for us to know and learn a little bit about, the workforce and how to engage people with disabilities. See, good thing I stretched out my introduction. Here we go. A couple more. So I'm going to turn it over to Riley and to share more about himself and his work. Thank you so much, Riley.
Yeah, thank you, Dina. My name is Riley Dettman. I'm the Director of Employment Services at Work Now Hawaii. We're a nonprofit that helps people gain and maintain employment. A large portion of what we do is working with people with disabilities, though it's not all we do. But this presentation is going to kind of go over our services that are tailored specifically towards people with disabilities. And if you have any questions at any time, just feel free to speak up. I'm not the kind of person who minds getting interrupted. And frankly, if you don't stop me talking, sometimes I will just keep doing it until you are ready for me to stop. Right, so I'm going to skip this video because I don't have a ton of time. But basically, we were founded in 2017, and we provide support for people with disabilities across Hawaii. We provide a path for meaningful, fulfilling, and long-term employment. And our person-centered philosophy is really the core of what we do. Basically, everything we do is going to be designed to support what the client wants, what their goals are, and what their strengths are, as opposed to working in the kind of old school matter of, what are their limitations, what are their challenges, and trying to go around them. We want to embrace the strengths in our clients. And in addition to support, we're going to help. We constantly advocate for improved conditions and support for people across the state. So our vision is employment options for anyone with a disability, and our mission is to create and support those employment options. You can see this image right here is one of my favorites. That's one of our job coaches, Al. We actually are working at the Kahala Resort at Dolphin Quest with one of our clients. This client is someone who is in the marine biology field, and they just need a little bit of help with certain things. So we are lucky enough to get to go spend 25 hours a week at Dolphin Quest, and he's got the best placement of anyone on our team. So some of the employment services that we provide, in a nutshell, are skills training, job placement, and job coaching. I'll go into a little bit more detail on this in a second. But skills training can take place in the classroom, on the work site. It can be individual, it can be group. And the whole idea is to prepare them for successful employment. A lot of these skills are going to be work readiness, communication, mobility, problem solving is a big one. That we don't call problem solving, but it's essentially, what do you do if your boss is gone, you do this, things like that. We teach a lot of work specific skills based on the field that the client wants to join. And we really just try and build independence and self-advocacy at all points. We want these clients to be able to tell us what they want, what they need, and not feel like they have to go along to get along. So job placement, we do our best to develop strong relationships with local businesses, and we provide job matching as our core tenet of this job development aspect or the job placement. And that means that we want to know our employers that we're placing people at just as well as we know our clients. We want to know, what the culture is like, what we can expect, what's going to happen if so and so leaves, or if there's a change, what it's like on the daily basis working there. And then we take the knowledge we have of our clients and match them to a job that they're going to be successful in. For example, this client right here, he came to us on a trial work experience, which is essentially determining whether or not he's even going to be able to hold a job in a competitive setting. And when I first met him, he was very downtrodden, didn't believe that we would be able to get him a job. We got him this job, and now he is the exact opposite. He has told me to my face, he's like, I work better when you guys aren't here. That's exactly what we're looking for. And that's where that job match comes in. This job allows him to speak Japanese. He's opened up socially, and he's just become a really different person. And it's great to see. And part of that job, or not the job security, the comfortability that he's built at this restaurant is due to his job coaching. And job coaching is provided to any client of ours who wants it. The idea is that if we were to get you a job, say at Walmart, you're working 4 hours a day, we will be with you there for 4 hours a day at first, while you do your training, while you understand the roles, while you get used to working with your coworkers, while you get your routine done. And the goal is to help you gain those skills, help you maintain that level of excellence in your work until we're standing there twiddling our thumbs, waiting for you to need some help. And then at that point, we'll fade away and be there less and less until we work ourselves out of a job. The goal is independence in our client. If that means that we are out of clients to help and nobody else needs our help, then good. That means we've done our job. So there are a few stages of it as well. There's pre-transition, transition, and long-term. Pre-transition is going to be those students that are still in school, working to get ready to join the workforce. Transition is that transition piece, going from school to the workforce or joining the workforce if you never have before. And there are a lot of challenges with that and a lot of adjustments you need. And then long-term, we really like to emphasize growing your career, taking on new challenges. If you're a client who we job coach with previously, and then, you're independent, you don't need us as much anymore, but you suddenly get a promotion, we will jump right back there and help you gain those skills and build independence in this new role as well. And, honestly, one of the best parts is when you do job coaching, as you can see in this picture, that's me and a couple of my job coaches. You get to play, kind of play at whatever the job is. If they're working on a film set, you're working on a film set. They're in a hospital helping with surgeries. You're in a hospital helping with surgeries as much as you can take. So it's a really cool opportunity, and we really like to be hands-on with our clients. All right, so I'll quickly go through these just to give you an idea of the types of services. So there's supported employment and job coaching. These two tend to go together. Supported employment is essentially the pre-employment piece. And that includes everything. That's, getting to know you, developing your skills, figuring out what interests you, building a resume, connecting to businesses, interviews, cover letters, anything that could go into getting you a job, that falls into supported employment. And we have built good connections with a lot of different places, retail, food service, production, filmmaking, manufacturing. We have connections at Kaiser Permanente Hospital. We have connections with the state and the military. Really, if a client wants to work in a specific type of job, we will go try and make that happen. And then job coaching, I explained, is the supported piece for when they are actually on the job. Trial work experience, as I mentioned with the client earlier, is determining whether or not you're actually capable of holding employment in a competitive setting. And we're currently at 100% success rate for placing clients into a position that results in a long-term paid employment. And that's a big piece of it, is that paid employment. And then our most popular offering right now is this vocational work adjustment training. It's essentially a classroom curriculum that is over 10 weeks, designed to prepare you with all sorts of different work readiness skills and interpersonal skills, so that when you go out and get a job, you're ready for it. This culminates in a work-based learning experience that is short-term and is designed to put those skills to the test before you go out and get a full job and become independent. Our other program that we just launched along with the Hawaii Division of Vocational Rehabilitation is PREETS, or Pre-Employment Transition Services, though nobody will ever call it that, and Summer Youth. Some of you guys may be familiar with Summer Youth, but it is essentially a program to help students who are still in high school, typically in certificate track programs, go and get work experience in a real world setting. Currently, we are working with multiple schools in the area, including Roosevelt, McKinley, and the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind, to get their students into these summer work experiences. And then once the school year starts up, we will be going into the schools and teaching a curriculum to them for part of their day, as well as providing them with opportunities for work-based learning experiences. Okay, I know I just said a lot right there. Do we got any questions real quick? All right.
Oh, sorry, Riley. Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
Can you define disability, or what constitutes somebody with a disability?
Yes. So a disability is going to be anything that impacts one or more major functions of your life, and your abilities to do so. Honestly, it's a very broad range. We work with people who have acquired disabilities, mental disabilities, cognitive disabilities, physical disabilities. We have some people who have traumatic brain injuries, some people who have, the autism, Down syndrome. We have people in wheelchairs. Truly, it's a very broad range, and I will kind of address that in the second half of this with our language and ethics. But truly, we work with anybody that has a disability in the state of Hawaii. As long as you can ask for the help, we will help you. And even if you can't ask for help and someone can ask for it, we will help you. I do want to say that we are moving away from the purely disability services idea, and we want to open it up to anyone. If I had someone come to me without a disability and say, I'm down on my luck, I need help finding a job, can you help me? I'm not going to say no, and nobody on our team will say no. But our focus is on people with disabilities who just need a little bit of assistance.
Great. And that sort of answers my second question, was just, how do they have to certify it in some formal way?
Typically, if you're going through Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, there is a certification process, DVR, when you apply for services, and this applies to Medicaid as well. Will put you through an evaluation and get certifications of your disability through a doctor or psychologist or something along those lines. And that's part of their onboarding process. So you cannot even receive services through those programs without doing some sort of eval and getting those certifications.
Great. Thank you.
Yep. And I can go into how to connect with DVR for anybody who's interested. It's a pretty simple process, and we're more than happy to walk you through it. And if you are someone who had previously worked with them in, we'll call it the Stone Ages of their existence, when they weren't very effective and they had a long waiting period, we have really helped, or they have really done their best to rearrange their structure and become much more helpful. So if you tried before and didn't work out, please talk to me, and we'll help you out with trying again.
I have a question. Is there a age bracket for the services?
So we typically are going to start working with children as young as 14, because those are the ones who we're going to put in this PREETS curriculum piece. Typically it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for them to get a work permit at that age. So we really want to focus on preparing them for work, and then getting them to those work-based learning experiences later. In terms of an upper limit, if you want to work, you can be 130, and props to you for working, but we'll help you get a job. So basically anybody over 14, for a short answer. Any other questions? Cool. All right, I'm gonna continue to breeze through this because I want to make sure we have time to talk about some other stuff. So reasons to choose us: we have ASL fluent coaches on staff. We are very well connected across the island, and we have many different types of resources that we can refer you to if we do not have them. That's a point of pride that I really hold close to my heart, is that if I can't help you directly, I will make sure I find someone who can. And that's something that I've tried to instill in the entire program. And I've found that, we get people coming to us to ask some pretty personal things because they need that help and they don't know where to go for it. And it's really nice to see that trust that we've built because they believe that we'll be able to at least direct them in the right way. And then customized support, we are 100% person-centered. Everything we do is going to be based on what the client wants, what their family wants. And, if we're working with a business, it's going to be based on what the business wants. One of the first things I tell every single one of my clients is if I say something and you don't like it, or you disagree, or you don't want that, or you think it's a bad idea, tell me. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Everything's about the client. So quickly, some of our certifications. Every single one of the people on our staff is ACRE certified. That's a national Association of Community Rehabilitation Educators. That's a national certificate that every single one of us holds. We work with individual placements and supports as IPS. ICI is the Institute on Community Inclusion. We work with Cornell University, and we're part of the Employment First Leaders Group, which is a national organization dedicated to pushing employment options for people with disabilities and other challenges. So, in addition to all of that, we also have social enterprises. This allows us to employ people directly in order to build skills, earn a paycheck, and prepare for that community employment. We offer short-term, long-term, part-time, full-time, whatever they want. We're happy to accommodate them. This picture is actually of our summer youth program last year, where people from our students from the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind assisted with our landscaping enterprise. But in addition to landscaping, we also have custodial services. We are on vast majority of military bases on the island. We have several contracts with the state and private entities to provide custodial services. And that's something that we can get people into pretty quickly if they're looking for immediate work. Event planning, web development, food service, administrative help, and digital marketing are also things that we have done on a contract or one-off basis with direct employees hired directly through us that have disabilities. In addition to the social enterprise, we also provide professional services. That's usually where I come in. Provide a lot of training on disability etiquette, language, accommodations, informational sessions such as this on how to get connected to services. We provide consultations for businesses, and actually just did a panel with the Hawaii Employers Council on tapping into underutilized workforces. That was actually a really cool experience. We can staff events or for everyday work. This picture right up here with the gentleman doing the shakas is Maverick. He's one of our employees, and that is him working at the Foreign Trade Zone appreciation party last year. In the top left, we have a client who is working at a vegan bakery. Anybody who knows Pu'uai Aloha Bakery, you have great taste. And he was helping out there for a little bit. And then we're always happy to tackle custom projects. If you ever have something that you're like, maybe Riley can help me with this, feel free to reach out. So just quickly, some of our partners. We work with lots of stakeholders, government agencies, disability resources, pretty much anyone that wants to hop on board, we will figure out a way to work with them. So some of these include the U.S. Army, DVR, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone, Kaimuku Shokudo, the Department of Health, Kaiser Permanente, Department of Education, Department of Transportation. I could go on and on. I picked the ones I think are the easiest to recognize by their logo. And then Hub Co-working, I got to shout them out. That's where we have our offices, and we actually do all the janitorial and landscaping for them as well. They've been a really great partner of ours. Okay. This is the part that I like and I really wanted to get to with plenty of time. So some success stories. NH, you actually saw a picture of him earlier. He was able to work on a documentary with PBS about Daniel K. Inouye. We actually had two clients do this, but NH is the one that I like to feature because his goal is to become a production associate or a filmmaker on his own. So he was able to work on this documentary, go out, get a full PBS credit. His name will go down the screen on when this airs, and it has helped him launch, a few more opportunities already. RS at Chemically Shokudo, I mentioned him earlier, but when he first came in, he was very unsure of himself, very disheartened, kind of talked quietly, he just kind of went along with whatever. Now he's he is very, very talkative. He's very, very happy to be where he's at, and he's gained a lot of confidence in himself. And I always like this. He says, "I finally feel like I have something to look forward to." And when I first met him, if he would have said that, I would have been shocked. So it's a really good testament to what our services are able to provide people, not only in terms of a paycheck and something to do, but in terms of self-confidence and believing that they can do whatever they want. LK is actually an employee of ours. She has become a Salesforce administrator. She hasn't become. She needs to finish her test, but that should be coming in the next week or so. And then that's going to open up a lot of opportunities. Anybody who knows what Salesforce is knows that it's A, complicated, and B, used by pretty much everyone. So that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for her as well. And then you can see this picture on the right is for our Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind transition age youth. This was their summer youth last year, and every single one of these clients has moved on to competitive integrated employment out in the community. All right. One thing I do want to mention is Hawaii APSI. APSI is the Association for People Supporting Employment First. And the idea is that we are trying to get Hawaii to get on board and create meaningful change to help people with disabilities get employment if they want it. And we have monthly meetings that I am leading. So if you guys are interested in that or just want to get on board, learn more information, please reach out and I can get you connected with that as well. All right, so I breezed through that. Do we have any questions on the services that Work Now Hawaii provides, how to get connected with those services, or anything regarding Work Now Hawaii before I launch into some etiquette and allyship?
Hi, Riley. Could I ask you a quick question? This is Fernando. I work with Dina at the Medical Legal Partnership. She's my boss. Thank you first and foremost for this great presentation. It's really, really awesome and glad to hear that there's so many great services that you and your company are offering. I had a question, and this might pertain to KKV on the piece about DVR. So we get quite a few cases of kids that have, already existing IEPs, and they're at the point where they're going to graduate. And then the conversation starts to shift to DDD and specifically DVR, the vocational rehab piece. Would you say that if someone connects with DVR, would DVR automatically initiate the consultation with your organization, or would it be more productive to do it the other way around, where if a student is at that point where they're going to age out and the family is already hearing that DVR might be, something that they will need to engage in the future, would they or could they contact Work Now Hawaii first to then connect with DVR?
Absolutely. So there's really two routes we get clients through. It is being referred to us by DVR, Medicaid, something like that. Typically, when that happens, people are given an option of multiple different organizations like us, Lanakila Pacific, Abilities Unlimited. And then if they choose us, we get the referral. However, I would say currently a little more than half of our clients are people that came to us because they just saw what we do, they heard about it from a friend, and they had no connection to DVR. We are able to help them with that connection. I'll walk people through the paperwork. I tend to go drop off referrals to DVR about once a week, maybe sometimes once every other week. They're very used to seeing me there because you do have to either mail them, fax them, or turn them in person. So I've just kind of made it a thing that if I am consulting with you and you don't have a DVR case open, we will fill out the application together and then I'll go turn it in for you because, it's just one barrier that we need to get over. And I have kind of learned, I've kind of learned to game the system. I'm very persistent when we get referrals in there. So, to kind of answer your question, it's you could do either. If they've already started the process of getting in touch with DVR or they want to get it started on their own, you can simply Google Hawaii DVR referral form. It should be that first result on Google. You download it, fill it out, and then you can turn it in yourself or mail it. That's, if you want to do it independently, it's pretty simple. It's, just questions about, who you are, why you're looking for this service, and your history. It's actually only one page, so it's really nice. After that, they will do their intake and a full assessment and application. That's usually after they get that referral form done. Yeah, like I said, I will talk forever. So short answer, you can do both. Just kind of depends on where you are in the process and how quickly you're looking to get a turnaround on it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Of course.
So if there was someone that had a disability, but childcare is kind of preventing them from working, do you folks also help connect them, like with their childcare program that could support, helping them get a job, but finding them childcare?
So you were cutting out a little bit. I want to make sure I heard it. So you're asking if we had a client who is looking for a job, but also needs childcare support, would we help connect them to childcare?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's something that DVR and Medicaid will also help with. So the big thing with us is that we are not a funder. So we can provide the services, we can connect to services, we can help you with everything. DVR or Medicaid or whoever is providing the funding for those services will help pay for those things as well. A lot of times our clients in DVR will get coupons to take the handy van or the bus. If you need a laptop to do something like assistive technology, they'll pay for that. There's a lot of ways that DVR and Medicaid can really help get those things done. In terms of paying for them, that's going to be DVR because they can definitely help with support for that type of stuff. In terms of connecting, it's going to be both us and DVR because DVR will obviously have resources, but we also have resources. Nothing in-house, unfortunately. That is something that I started fighting for, I think, my first month here, and it just takes a lot of time to get childcare set up. So hopefully we'll have it eventually. Anything else? All right, before we launch into this.
Would you like me to stop record now?
If you could, that would be great.